What is the meaning of precept? Promise. You make so many promises, can you introduce all of them as precept? Is one aspect of the real meaning. What is the word used by the Buddha? And then you can catch the real meaning. Because these English words cannot give the real meaning. What is the word? No, sarana means refuge. Buddham sarana. Sarana, I take refuge. Sila. Sila, not sila. I have to pronounce the word. So if you pronounce as sila, gives another meaning. Sila, right? Sila, pancha sila, 5 precepts. Attanga sila, 8 precepts. Dasa sila, 10 precepts. Samanera sila, novices precept. Upasampada sila, fully ordained monks precept. Now the meaning, sila. What is the meaning? Principles, the word principle is very vague, cannot give correct, direct meaning. Usually we use the word moral. Again, the problem is, there are so many man-made morals. They are not under sila. Yes. Sila, chitta, vacha, kaya. Mind, words, and body. 3 things. So there are 3 channels for us to observe sila. The real meaning is training. Sila means training. We train our own minds. We train or we guard our tongue. We train our physical body. But we train our mind to develop mindfulness, awareness, to understand what is happening in the mind. That is sila. Discipline. Here you can use the word discipline the mind. Don't allow your mind to behave as it wants. Then discipline is there. Then sila in our words. Don't use the words, whatever words come into your mouth. There are dirty words, vulgar words, wicked words, harmful words, useless words. So if you can train your words, not to misuse your word, then it is called sila. Then the body. We can misuse our physical body to take the advantage of others, to disturb others, to violate so many things. So if we can discipline our physical body without misusing, that is sila. That is the words used by the word. In English, we say precept. When you refer to the dictionary for this word, you won't get this meaning. Then, what are the basic principles in Buddhism? There are 3, isn't it? What are those 3? Yeah. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. See, my disciple is not bad. Sila, Samadhi, Panya. These are the 3 basic principles. So everything is based or depends on these 3 pillars. Beside these 3, there is no Buddhism, there is no Dharma. Now, do you know the difference between Buddhism and the Dhamma? Is there any difference? No. Say something. What is the difference? Yeah. Introduced by whom? By only lay. What about monks? Mostly by the monks, not lay people. Not bad. Buddhism is introduced, organized, developed by us, not by the Buddha. You understand? The Buddha did not introduce Buddhism. Then what did he introduce? Dhamma. He introduced only Dhamma. There's a vast difference between Buddhism and the Dhamma. Then, Buddhism is changeable from time to time, country to country. Buddhism is going on changing. For the last 2,500 years, when you study the history from the very beginning up to this date, you can see how many millions of changes have taken place. Then who changed all these things? We have done it. You understand? So still we are going on changing according to our satisfaction, to satisfy our craving, desire, selfishness and taste. The Dhamma taught by the Buddha as Sila, Samadhi, Panya never change. And there is nobody in this universe who can change. The Buddha also cannot change. Understand? That is why we say akaliko. Dhamma is akalika. There is no time limit for that. And never disappear, and no one can destroy. Others can destroy Buddhism. They have done from time to time. In India, Hindus and Brahmins and Muslims and all the others completely destroy Buddhism, but they could not destroy Dhamma. In China, Confucius and followers of Taoism completely destroyed Buddhism. Several times they have done. In Korea they have done it. In Japan they have done it. And Ceylon. Only Buddhism. Then what is Buddhism? Images, temples, books, and activities, and ceremonies. During the Cultural Revolution in China, they have destroyed Buddhism, but not the Dhamma. They cannot destroy. Now, our differences, discrimination, we maintain because of this Buddhism, not because of the Dhamma. Now, we are divided. He says, Theravada, Hinayana, Mahayana, Tantrayana, Vajrayana, Dishyana, Dhyana, still going on developing Buddhism. And those who developed and introduced all these things have their own selfishness, egoism, ignorance, so many weaknesses. Because of these weaknesses, we try to criticize one aspect and appreciate and maintain superiority complex. That is Buddhism. So if we follow the Dhamma, there won't be any differences. And no one can disturb us if we follow the Dhamma. Nobody creates jealousy if we practice the Dhamma. Then what is Dhamma? Supposing you want to be an honest man. Honesty. Is there anybody in this world who can say that you are a bad man? If you are an honest person, the follower of any religion, or those who have no religion, everybody appreciates, respect you, or he is an honest man. That is Dhamma. Right? Do you think communist can stop this? Government can stop this? That is why you can find universal values in the Dhamma. You want to be a kind person. not to be cruel. Who can say that you are a bad man? You are kind, no cruelty in your mind, you don't want to disturb or harm others. Everybody says you are a good man. And they also don't like to disturb you because you are a kind person. That is the Dhamma. And you want to lead a peaceful life by cultivating certain qualities or virtues such as your understanding and harmony and unity. You want to maintain this. So when others come to know that you are like this, they appreciate, they also cooperate with you, and everybody respect. That is Dhamma. So what is happening? People disregard, never pay attention towards the Dhamma, but they fight for religion. Not only Buddhism. Let us take other religion. Why do they fight? Why do they want to convert? For what purpose? Do you think really they want to introduce a religion or Dhamma? If the main purpose of a religion is to introduce these good qualities and virtues, why should they develop jealousy, hatred, and discriminations and competition? Is there any reason for them to convert and drag others into their group? No dharma there. It is adharma, not dharma. In religion, you can see all the weaknesses, dirty tricks, selfishness. That is why many people got fed up with religions too. And for the dharma, it is not necessary for us to give a different label as Buddhism or Christianity or Islam or Hinduism. There is no religious label for the Dhamma. Dhamma is universal. This is for the whole mankind to uphold. The Buddha wanted to introduce only this much, remember. He never introduced a religion. After gaining his enlightenment, when there were 60 arahatas, he said, Uttoham sabbapasehi dibbāye ca manusā. This is a very deep meaning in this saying. He said, look here. Now, you and I all are free from human and divine bondages. See the deep meaning of this Buddha saying. We are free from human and divine bondages. And those who try to glorify this divinity and divine power as final salvation, we can understand, are still in the dark. They have not realized what is real liberation, salvation. What the Buddha says here, we are free from all these divine bondages and human bondages. So our aim is not to go and join with those, or in other words, not to be with the Lord. That is divine bondage. Destroy all these fetters. Otherwise, you never get the chance to be free from the wheel of existence and birth and decay and death, and whether you are divine or human makes no difference. People cannot understand. They are crazy for that, not knowing what it is. Then he said, Charata bhikkhave charika bahujana hitaya bahujana sukhaya lokanukampaya atthaya hitaya sukhaya deva manussa. This is the only message. Now go forth. Don't stay here in the monasteries. In fact, he said, two monks should not go together. That means to spread all over the country. Go and tell the people. People are innocent, ignorant, and misled. Go and tell them what is right and what is wrong. They say the bhikkhave dhamma. go and reveal the Dhamma. What is Dhamma? Truth, justice, peace. Introduce what is truth, what is peace. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukkhaya. For their happiness, for their benefit, for their welfare. That is the message of the Buddha. Then where is Buddhism? And those disciples also introduced what the Buddha taught. They never tried to introduce or organize a religion. And later, the disciples started from time to time, collecting all sort of, or introducing various practices, belief, tradition, cultural method, then frame up, beautified, decorated, exaggerated, created, narrated wonderful stories as Buddhist stories. To us, many of them actually are cock and bull stories, so-called Buddhist stories. But people believe because of their faith. The Buddha did not introduce all this. So the Dhamma never changed. Buddhism may disappeared in many countries. But Dhamma never disappeared. Now let us take, in certain countries, people have no religion. But do you think there are no honest people in those countries? No kind people in those countries? Dhamma is there. So religious label is not important for them. To be good, to do good, religion is not important. Dhamma. Do you think communists can destroy Dhamma? Government cannot destroy Dhamma. You can be a good man if you really need, if you really wants to do that. This sila or the precept is the foundation that we had to lay to start this noble way of life. Another word for that. Instead of religion, you can use noble way of life. So without laying this foundation, you cannot stand firmly. You must have firm footing. Precept is important for that. Then you get very strong conviction, confidence, courage to build up, develop your noble way of life. Then there are two aspects in sila. One aspect is not to do certain things. Another aspect is to do something. Two kinds of sila. This is called charitra sila, varitra sila. To avoid certain things and to do certain things. So don't think that when we promise, we don't promise actually. We determine, we make up our mind by knowing these things are wrong, these things are harmful, and create misery, sufferings, worries, disturbances. Then we decide not to violate this. That is called sila. They are not vows. We have no vows in Buddhism. Remember, of course we use the word bodhisattva vows and these vows and these are. This is in our vocabulary. In the Buddha's teaching, no vows. Remember this. But we make up our minds not to do certain things by knowing they are wrong. Not because of the punishment. But all the others try to keep away from certain things, considering for the punishment. The God punish you, the Buddha punish you. Therefore we don't want to. That is selfishness. For your safeguard, for your own benefit, you observe this to avoid that punishment. But you never consider why these things are important. Why we should not do such things. Because these things create a lot of suffering. Then it becomes sila, precept, not because of the punishment. Then what are the things we have to do? As sila. In our words, in our action, in our thoughts. There must be some sort of discipline. It is a very big battle to discipline your word, to discipline your body not to do. It's a very big thing. But to do certain things, not very. We experience more difficulty actually not to do. To do is not very difficult. You understand? Then what are the things we have to do? We have duties, responsibilities, obligations. These are the things we have to observe. When you fulfill your duties towards your parents, your children, your husband, your wife, and your others, it is sila. You must understand. Without violating your duties, your country, your nation, your government, there are certain duties. All these are under the sila. This is called Dhamma. There is nobody to condemn, criticize, ridicule. This Dhamma taught by the Buddha. Again, this Dhamma is not confined only to so-called Buddhism. We cannot claim all these are the virtues and the qualities of Buddhists. Do you think that there are no Dharma among Christians and Muslims and Hindus and free thinkers? We have with so many others. Sometimes they have more virtues, more principles, more good qualities than the so-called Buddhists. Therefore, how can you say Buddhists are far better than the others? So that label, Buddhism, is not the important. Just to glorify, Buddhism is prospering, more and more money in our charity box, more and more people come and worship, burn more and more justice. Buddhism is spreading. See, thousands and thousands assemble on Vesak Day. Buddhism is developing in this country. Yes, it is Buddhism, but no Dharma. After Vesak they fight. You cannot find Dharma. People never realize this. So let me finish this. First we had to establish our noble way of life by upholding some principles as precept. That is called Sila. But that is not enough. Sila is not enough. Then you had to introspect. That means you had to examine what is happening in your mind. Your minds are not pure. Temptation can mislead your mind to be a very bad, very vulgar or very wicked person. When you are misled or tempted or intoxicated with temptation, you have no courage to apply the brake. Now you are very good, isn't it? You are not violating anything. All are very nice, cheerful, very serene. So can you maintain this cheerfulness, serenity when you go home also? When you go back, you fight. This is the problem. It is not that purposely you want to fight. Circumstances, environment, disturb your mind. Temptation on the way, disturb your mind. If not, irritation. When another person comes and says something which irritate you, disturb your mind, then you have no controlling power. You also shout. It started. So Sila, we have established, but there is no guarantee. At any moment, the weaknesses that we have suppressed, control, may flare up, come up. Then, by considering this uncertainty of the situations of our mind, then we go on developing some sort of concentration or mindfulness. This is the second stage. That is the time we go on training church. Now you have more patience and more understanding. Again, people appreciate, people respect you. They know you are harmless. They know you are trustworthy. They can trust you because you have done some sort of training, discipline in your mind. Then you also experience, your subject is the joy that we gain through this. I will explain later. That irritable mind, that uncontrollable mind, now we can control easily. After that we feel very good. That is some sort of calmness in our mind. Then we can avoid so many worries that we invite into our mind. For nothing we invite unnecessary worry. A simple thing we take so seriously into our mind and disturb. Then the face also becomes very sour, moody. Then create very bad atmosphere at home, and you are also not happy, others also not happy. So when you observe these things, you can create happiness amongst others with whom you associate, and you also experience some sort of peace in your mind, happiness, joy in your mind. That is the second stage. Still not complete. Although your mind is very well trained, the hidden intrinsic human weaknesses or the sediments still remain at the bottom. You understand? Not eradicated. We have reduced a lot of our weaknesses, but the three main roots still remain. What are those three? Three. Lobha, dosa, moha. These three multiply millions of other evil forces in the mind. Because of our craving, selfishness, how many thousands of evil thoughts we create in the mind, we can understand. And because of this craving, how we develop hatred, how we hate others, how jealousy appear in the mind because of this craving. All these roots are there, still there. But when we take the surface value, when we look at your face, we cannot see these things because you have controlled them. And such people we regard as cultured people, religious people, nice people. Even then, there is no guarantee. Because the last one, moha, our illusion, our ignorance, always maintain these two. Our craving and hatred, nurtured, supported by our ignorance. So, ignorance, culture. Culture means in medical sense, not from the religious sense. You know, doctors culture urine to see whether got bacteria. That's called culture. So, ignorance, culture, craving and hatred, and can see, develop bacteria in the mind. Now it is a very big battle. Although we have led a noble life, still we are not holy. Noble life is one thing, holiness is another. By using right understanding, then you have to apply Eight Noble Paths. Right understanding. Good is to uproot, so to eradicate those three: craving, hatred, ignorance. Then you become holy. After that, you cannot find in that person's mind craving, selfishness, emotions, human weaknesses, anger, jealousy, nothing. Pure. That is called sainthood or arahathood or Buddha. These are the three basic principles. How we have to develop one after the other. Now let us come to this subject again. how we can enjoy bliss, experience happiness by observing these precepts or sila or principles. This is important. I think you have heard that I have explained earlier. The four kinds of happiness that we experience in our life. Can you remember? Four. What are those four? Mr. Palm, can you remember? Yeah, that's right. Atti Sukha. Second one, Bhoga Sukha. Huh? No. A worldly sense. This is in worldly sense, especially for layman's life. Atti Sukha, Bhoga Sukha, Ananda Sukha, Anavadya Sukha, four kinds of happiness. Then you can understand how we experience peace, happiness by observing present in the end. The Buddha has introduced this Dhamma very systematically. Certain precepts only for the monks, certain precepts only for the nuns, not for the monks, according to their mentality and way of life. Certain precepts only for lay people, you people, but not for the monks. So you should not try to observe the sila or the precept prescribed by the Buddha for the monks. There are many lay people I tried. They also try to observe the same precept, too much for you. According to your way of life, don't go to that extreme. You had to adjust your way of your religious life according to your work, your family life, your married life, your duties, responsibilities. Without disturbing them, you have to observe the precept. You must understand that Buddha is a very compassionate, very understanding religious teacher. He did not want to torture you because of religion. Don't suffer because of your religion. You can lead a normal life, a respectable life. You can enjoy your life. You can eat whatever you like. You can sing, you can dance. These are cultural aspects. You can enjoy your life. Religion never say you can enjoy your life. Of course, you preserve certain days as religious days, holy days, to observe more precepts, isn't it? That day, it is a trial. You understand? To see whether you can practice this or not, to experience. That day, no dancing, no singing, no merrymaking, no romantic life on that day. Stop. Only for 24 hours. What is the difficulty to stop only for 24 hours? That is training. So when you go on training like this, at least once a month, later it's very easy because you get used to this. And this is the nature of layman's way of life. So Atti Sukha, you had to work, you had to earn, you had to enjoy your life. Buddhism is not just for you to go and sit down and meditate. You have to support your families. Understand? And not to depend on others. You have to maintain your respect. The Buddha knew all these things. You must have something. Earn something. Don't waste your time. Then, when you come to know you have something, you feel happiness, isn't it? That is the first happiness you experience. So don't think the Buddha has advised you to give up everything, renounce everything, run away from the society. For that, you have to consider very carefully. So many people who have run away, again they come back. They say, we regret now. I can tell you, a European, after learning too much of Dhamma and listening, he was doing a very good job, drawing a big salary. He wanted to give up everything, renounce and become a monk. So one day he came and told me he has already made up his mind, now he's going to become a monk. But I got a lot of money that I have So what I'm going to do with this money? He asked my advice. It's a very good chance, isn't it? Ask him to donate to the temple. Yes. Then I told him, first you must understand the nature of human mind. It is uncertain and changeable. Now when you come to this country, you never had the idea of becoming a monk, isn't it? No, see how changes has taken place in your mind. After becoming a monk, you may change your mind. Certain circumstances create disappointments, frustration, unsatisfactoriness. And then, if you throw away all these things, later you have to regret. So I advise you not to throw away or renounce all these things. Keep aside. You can go and become a monk. After some time, you feel whether this way of life is suitable for you or not. When you made up your mind at that time, then you can decide what to do with your life. Then you can give up. So he accepted and became a monk. Believe me, he remained in the robe only for 3 months. So, this robe, again he found out a job. Came to see me, to thank me for giving that advice. Not to give up what he has earned. Now he respects me. He trusts me. He knew I am not selfish. Because I did not take even $1 from me for me. But every time when he comes, he donates few $100 for publication. This is the happiness that I experience by observing the precept, honesty. Life I can experience this happiness. My honesty, how return to me and create happiness. Of course, when you try to be honest, crooked people, cunning people take advantage of you. That is why you have to apply this honesty with understanding. Don't try to be honest as a fool. Then you get into trouble. Your charity also, there must be understanding. Otherwise, completely you get fed up with your life. Others come and bluff you, swindle you, cheat you, mislead you. Every good deeds, whatever you do, there must be understanding. Don't go to extreme. So many drug addicts and some Indian who always go and take toddy come and tell us all sort of cock and bull stories. They have no food for 2-3 days and this and that. And first time, second time, they give $2-3. After that, next time they come, we chase them away. Because we don't want to encourage them. That is why we had to practice charity also wisely, not foolishly. So, second happiness, bhoga sukha. So when we enjoy our life by using what we have earned, is a wonderful happiness. No obligation. You can take good food, you can have nice dress, have good, nice, beautiful houses, motor cars, everything. By using your own money. No harm at all. This is the second happiness the Buddha has introduced. Without misleading or swindling others, if you can enjoy your life by using your own income, second happiness. Third one, ananda sukha. When you come to know that you are not indebted to anybody, that means you are not under obligation. You have not borrowed money or this or that from others. You know how to adjust your budget, your income and expenditure within your means. Don't try to show off others. You got this, you got that, this gadget, that gadget, then show off others. Arrange everything according to your income. Then you never get into trouble. You can maintain self-respect. No doubt you are a poor man. even without depending on others, if you can maintain your dignity, the happiness is there in your mind. That is what the Buddha says. Don't go and borrow from others to enjoy your life. Of course, there may be certain occasions, in case of sickness or death or something, that you had to. But not to enjoy your life. It is not wrong. The happiness that you enjoy when you come to know you are not under any obligation. You are not indebted to anybody. You have done your duties towards your parents, your children, your husband and wife and friends and country, everything. Within you, say $1 or $2, you can afford only this one. That happiness is more than enough. Then the last one, refer to this one. Anavajya sukha. The first three happiness we can experience only within this life. Now see, this is the difference now. While we are living, we can experience these three happiness. But the last happiness that I am going to explain gives happiness within this lifetime and hereafter. That means after our death. The other three happiness cannot give anything after our death. That is why this is very important. Anavajya sukha. Anavajya. Vajya means wrong thing. Anavajya means nothing wrong. If we have not done anything wrong to bluff, swindle, disturb, destroy others, that is called anavajya sukha. No guilty feeling, guilty consciousness in our mind. The biggest problem with us is this guilty consciousness. We have done a lot of bad things, damages to others, and we have bluffed so many people for our own benefit. These things disturb our mind throughout our life. There are so many rich people. They have become very rich by disturbing, swindling, bluffing and killing and kidnapping and doing all sorts of things. But do you think there is happiness in their mind? No happiness. Always fear, suspicion, guilty feeling. Because they too have human mind. So when we come to know that we have not misused, abused our human dignity, human life, although we haven't got even enough food to eat, enough clothing, enough shelter to live, but we have not done any harm to anybody. That is enough for our life. Then there is nothing to repent. Some other religions advise you to repent to get rid of the punishment. The Buddha never encouraged. You see, it doesn't work. By repenting after committing all sort of evil, you cannot wipe out, wash away the mistake done by you. But you can overcome the bad effect of the wrong thing you have done earlier due to your misunderstanding or weaknesses by cultivating certain good qualities in your mind, by reducing your mental impurities in your mind through meditation. Meditation reduces the tension, temperature of that mind. Then by doing more and more meritorious deeds, you can overcome the bad effect of the certain thing that you have done, not simply by repenting. That is not the repent. So, when we are going to die at the last moment, all the other three happiness become nuisance to us. At that time, when you think, oh, how I enjoyed my life at that time, when we were young, create more frustration. What a pity now we cannot enjoy. That is the danger. Every day drinking, dancing, merrymaking and eating and joking and this and that. How we spend our life in those days. What a pity now, I am hopeless, I am useless, I cannot do anything. No happiness. But this is the only happiness. Give confidence. Then you can say, I know The death is near to me, but I am not scared of death because I have not done any harm. That confidence. How many people can maintain this confidence at the last moment? I am ready to die. Because if there is another life after my death, that life cannot become a miserable one. Because it becomes an unfortunate one according to my way of life. Not according to the will of God or will of the Buddha. My own will. Will means what I have done by using my mind. So we can die peacefully, without worrying, without suffering, without creating any disappointment. Then after our death, definitely another existence, either as human beings or devas or brahmas or cannot become animals or devils or ghosts, impossible. That life become more meaningful, more peaceful and gives more happiness because of the precepts, the sila, that you maintain by upholding some good principles. See how we enjoy our life by observing precepts. Supposing, now I can tell you one thing. According to my knowledge from my childhood, so far, I have never killed even a mosquito in my life. If I might have killed thousands and millions without thinking that I want to kill, like this, But I never do like this in my life. That is enough for me as a principle. I have not violated. That guilty feeling is not there in my mind. And I don't know, otherwise you may think I am boasting and glorifying, but for you to observe as principle. I don't think, even from my childhood, I had ever tried to bluff others for my own benefit, to gain something from them. And these are the principles. And then this gives confidence. And these are called virtues. These virtues are here. Dhammo have rakkati dhamma. Those who observe Dhamma, but not Buddhism. Remember, those who maintain Dhamma, that the virtues of the Dhamma protect them from various misfortune, accidents, and trouble. That is the power of the virtue. This is the way how we experience happiness by observing. Again, you see, I have not killed anybody. I have not stolen others' things. I have not bluffed others. I did not tell lies. How many people can tell this? But there are people who can tell. So what a wonderful happiness.